As I have written before, I was almost fired for refusing to increase a morphine drip until he stops breathing on a patient who continued to breathe after his ventilator was removed. The doctors mistakenly presumed he had a massive stroke and thus was irreparably brain damaged. I was told at that time that giving and increasing the morphine even though the patient showed no discomfort was merely comfort care that would prevent pain. I knew it was euthanasia. I remember this terrible incident when I read the April 1, 2019 Federalist magazine article. This Belgian nurse watched euthanasia turn pain management into a death prescription. Belgium has had legalized euthanasia for many years, including organ donation euthanasia and now even minors and psychiatric patients. But Sophie Drouin, a palliative care nurse, reached her breaking point when she had to call a doctor, had to come back to give another lethal injection when the patient didn't die from the first injection. Sophie caught herself laughing at the absurdity of the situation at first, but then realized the horror of the situation and began to question Belgium's so-called social experiment with euthanasia. What changed Sophie's opinion was working in Belgium's Integrated Palliative Care (IPC) system. Palliative care is medical aid that treats symptoms of a typically serious disease rather than the disease itself, which sometimes cannot be treated or not easily. However, Belgium's euthanasia framework now includes integrated palliative care in the framework. As the article states, palliative care used to be defined by the anti-euthanasia beliefs of its founder, Dame Cicely Saunders, a British nurse who developed holistic care for the dying in the 1940s. Dame Saunders believed that a patient's request for euthanasia represented a failure to adequately care for the patient's spiritual, emotional, and social needs. Although Belgium tried to reconcile Dame Cicely Saunders' standard with its euthanasia laws, Sophie observed that the guiding intention to relieve suffering changed from first, do no harm, to first, relieve suffering. This allowed euthanasia to become an easy solution that could effectively nullify even patient consent. Sophie finally left Belgium to take a position in Paris at a hospital where terminally ill patients are treated with traditional palliative care. The situation in the US recently: I was giving a talk on assisted suicide/euthanasia when I noticed that a woman in the audience was visibly upset.